the studio sessions. My name is Brooke, and this is a different background. We moved. I'm still working on getting it set up. I have lots of fun ideas. We're gonna get that going, but for now, you get a new background. And it's a more stable background with like my microphone, the better microphone, and all of that, because I actually can use my computer and all of my equipment to record again. So, yay! Everything is back to that, which is really good. So, I wanted to talk this week a little bit about my intentions with starting a production company. That might sound obvious, right? Like, I started a production company. Of course, my goals are going to be obvious to grow that production company and make stuff with it. But I actually have a couple layers of a deeper why that I want to talk about. I also want to talk about like what I envision for it a little bit, my goals a little bit. I have some projects in the works and in my head that I don't want to talk about just yet, but just general ideas and goals I feel like I can talk about. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm really excited. Before we jump into that, I did want to remind you guys that if you've been enjoying the Studio Sessions episodes, click subscribe, click like, share it with somebody. All of those options are completely free, no cost at all to you. And they actually really do a lot to support the podcast, the show. So if you've been enjoying it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss episodes. Hit like and share it with somebody that you think would also enjoy the podcast. It's an easy way to support the show for free. Okay, so in order to talk about my reasons for starting, or my reason for wanting to have the production company, wanting to grow it, what my goals are for it, I want to go back to the whole reason I started it, and that's actually Like a Butterfly, my documentary. Currently available to purchase or rent to stream on our website. Link in the show notes. But it was in researching information for that, like legal details for how to even do that, stuff like that, that I got into finding out an LLC was recommended. And so that made sense. But then I decided that it probably made the most sense to have something that umbrellaed over everything I was doing. Because I already was doing my YouTube channel and the podcast, Coffee and Turner Syndrome podcast. Also, link in show notes if you would like to check it out. And so I wanted something that I could just use to encompass everything I was essentially producing, creating. And that's when I decided to just make it a general LLC for a production company. Now, my vision for that morphed over time from the initial idea I had, from my initial time period of thinking that I really should have an LLC for everything I'm doing if I wanted it to become something. I actually went from, it's just for this and those things, to almost dreams of more, bigger projects, but still with a specific goal in mind. I always wanted to just have fun creating. That was always the thing I wanted to do. But I also had become so passionate about sharing about Turner syndrome that I didn't want that to get lost. And I still don't want that to ever get lost in what I'm doing, what I'm creating and producing. And so I wanted that to be at the heart of it. I always wanted there to be a branch of things within it that supported that mission of awareness and advocacy and education. That was always really important to me. So with that in mind came the name Butterfly Entertainment. I just felt like it really hit home with everything I was doing. And I identify with it so much. I am a butterfly. I have Turner syndrome. I'm a butterfly, and I love creating entertainment in a lot of facets of that, right? Like, it can be educational and entertaining. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? So I started morphing those two together, but it took me a bit to figure out what that looked like. Because, again, I had to go through this process while I was looking up all of this legal stuff of what does this actually look like. And so when I got to an LLC that created a production company for everything I was making, I had to then morph the ideas of like my not necessarily Turner syndrome centered project ideas and my Turner syndrome projects. I had to figure out how to morph those two. And it wasn't easy. It was actually more of an overwhelming idea than I expected it to be. It just didn't feel linear. It didn't feel as easy to morph. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And it took a journey of processing my project ideas, trying to think through how would those two go together, and really giving myself permission for it to look however I wanted it to. We are in the age of new media, of independent media, of non-traditional media, and the internet kind of puts all elements of media into your customizable control. It could look however I wanted it to look. It didn't have to look any specific way. It didn't actually have to fit any model of anything ever done before. And it almost started feeling like it was something, maybe not brand new, but unique and its own for what this essentially actually would look like. Really quick, I just want to take a second to share a part of my website you may not know exists. On butterflyentertainment.online, you actually can buy some merch. So we have merch for the company, Butterfly Entertainment. We have t-shirts. You can get it in a hoodie. You can also get Like a Butterfly, the film merch. I, right now, am wearing the Like a Butterfly hoodie. I absolutely love it. It's so incredibly soft, so comfortable, so warm. I absolutely love this. And I also have the Acid Wash Butterfly Entertainment shirt, and it's so fun. So you can get those in the store, the merch store on our website, at the link in the show notes. Check it out. I spent a lot of time within this journey figuring out how YouTube played into this too, because with new media, with non-traditional media, YouTube has changed. The function of YouTube in almost every facet has become so different than even like 5 years ago, let alone when I first started uploading videos to YouTube, which was like 12 years ago at this point. I didn't know where I fit into that, and I didn't know what I wanted to produce and what I wanted the production company to do fit into that. YouTube is my first, most well-known, and easiest, best, biggest avenue for sharing all of my content, for sharing everything I've produced. But it no longer felt like home for my content. Not how I saw it before, at least. And so I had to think through all of this along with the conversations about the production company, the film, because I was trying to put out like a butterfly. How was I going to do that? And part of that conversation came with, how does this fit in with everything else I'm already doing and my YouTube channel? So it was a bit of an identity crisis in general, and I had to work through all of it. But it gave me a deeper direction on what I wanted to do. And where I essentially landed is Butterfly Entertainment, working on Turner Syndrome education, advocacy, outreach, awareness projects, but also just inspiring real, good stories. And that could really be anything. It didn't have to be exclusively a Turner Syndrome story, but a good story. A story that I felt like is important to tell and that I'm passionate about. Turner Syndrome stories will always be a part of that. That will always be a category of stories that I'm interested in, passionate about, and wanting to produce. Always. And I think that was how I finally came to morphing those ideas into one. I think the exciting part is just good stories, right? That's the fun part. That's the exciting part. And of course, Turner Syndrome stories will always be parts of that. But it felt like I was giving myself the way forward to not leave those behind, but also incorporate other important to me stories that weren't just about Turner Syndrome. It's easy as a creator to box yourself in, especially when you get a certain response from a certain topic or type of content. More can coexist than I was giving myself the freedom for. And I think that's where I got stuck. And really importantly for me, that's where going on this journey kind of helped me break out of that some and be able to get back to feeling like myself within it again and knowing what my purpose was moving forward. And now I have other ideas for projects, both Turner Syndrome related and not Turner Syndrome related, that I'm really excited about, that I am so passionate about. And I can see the beauty in how they coexist together. And I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. I just love it. It makes me so excited. So if you've been wondering how to have various interests within one, because I know I'm that way. I know I've mentioned a lot on the studio sessions that I'm a very eclectic taste. That's been a struggle for me. Like, that's been a journey for me because I am so interested in so many different things. And I think honing in my whole purpose, the part of what I'm doing that makes me passionate, gives me that central figure, that central thing to look for. And if it has it, then it clicks, and I've got it, and it's good. And I know it's gonna be a good move forward. I just have to trust myself with that. And I think part of me is just really excited to see what comes and what happens and how everything plays out, because so much of the fun for me has been in the journey. So much of the growth and the learning has been in walking out that journey and doing the work. And I finally feel like I found my road I'm walking. And it's really exciting. One last piece before I go, a recommend. I love thinking of what I've been watching lately and giving you guys a recommendation. As a film, TV lover, I love finding new stuff to watch. I have to say, I've actually been watching a lot on Tubi. If you have not checked out Tubi, especially if you're a horror fan, there's other stuff on there too. There is. There's not just horror. But, especially if you're a horror fan, there are some good ones. So, the movie I'm going to recommend this week is called Don't Log Off. It's got Ariel Winter. So if you're a Modern Family fan, she's in it. She's really good. It's really good. It's kind of like Unfriended, but honestly, the plotline is better. If I have to admit. Like, the whole premise of what happens is better. It's done so well. And it's the same type of vibe, though, where it's like you're basically watching a screen and you're at the mercy of seeing what's shown and available on the screen. It's all on the computer screen, which I actually really love. I've loved that aesthetic. So it was a really good find. I will link it on Tubi down in the show notes. It's really good. So search for Don't Log Off. Definitely watch. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, share it with somebody, hit subscribe. I would really love to know if any other creators that are listening have had a bit of that kind of experience before too, where it's a little bit of an identity crisis. And if you resonate with that, I hope this encouraged you. I will obviously keep you guys updated on all of my future projects. And of course, we will talk the industry, my journey, and everything in between on the studio sessions. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye! The Studio Sessions is a Butterfly Entertainment production. You can keep up with all of our podcasts, YouTube videos, films, and other projects on our Instagram page. We are at Butterfly Entertainment Group. Thanks for listening.